Okay, boys and girls, we're back for the last part of Yokuts Shelter's notes. And for this one, it's not actually a home, but it's a really important building in the village that the Yokuts Indians would live in, and that was the sweat house. So here you can see a sketch of a sweat house. It was long, like the longhouse, um, but it was not used for sleeping in. It wasn't a home, but another building. And so here's some things about the sweat house. First of all, it was only for men. Um, Back when the Yokuts lived, the men were the hunters and the women were the gatherers, and they did more of the cooking and other chores around the village, but the men were the only ones that were responsible for the hunting, and the sweat house had to do with hunting. So the men would go into the sweat house. The sweat house would would be very hot with steam, and how they would make it that way is they would have several fires going, and they would put hot rocks into the fire, and then they would take the hot rocks out of the fire and pour water over them, and that would create steam, just like if you take a hot shower or a hot bath with the door closed. The bathroom gets steamy, so they would fill the sweat house with steam, and they did this to get rid of their human scent. And they did that so that when they went hunting, the animals wouldn't be able to smell them. Had to get rid of their human scent. And so they would stay as long as they possibly could stand it inside the sweat house. And when it just got too hot, they couldn't stand it any longer. What they would do is, just like in the drawing, you can see, they would run out as fast as they could and jump into the river. And that process of going from really hot to the cool water of the river would get rid of their human scent. So let's add that they would run out of the sweat house, and they would also scream when they ran. Um, into the river. So the sweat house would also be located very close to a water source, most likely the Kern River, although it could have been a lake as well, but most likely it was the Kern River. Um, and they would do that anytime before they went hunting to get rid of their human smell. All right, boys and girls, this is actually the last video for our Yokuts notes. So what you're going to be doing next week is studying your notes to prepare for the final test on Yokuts Indians. See you next time.